The definition of creativity, all right, the use of the imagination or original ideas. And then the back part of that, not as pertinent to our conversation, especially in the production of an artistic work. But generally speaking, definition of creativity, the use of the imagination or original ideas. So part of what I think about is, how do we leverage our creativity to create these innovative solutions? There's this word that I believe we have to get intimate with, that being imagination. And I don't know about y'all, we talked about curiosity before, right? And the fact that early on, people, and I don't know about y'all, but I'll speak for myself, I make I statements. Questions came with a consequence. So asking too many questions, people ain't like that. They tell you to shut up. Why you asking so many questions? Students in our class, a lot of folks don't come to office hours because they think if I go to office hours, I'm stupid. If I get a tutor, I'm dumb. But then in sports, if you got a coach, you set up for success. Where's that disconnect? So again, this idea, right? There are things that early on we were taught to stop doing that really set us up to provide long-term success. One of those things being, I would argue, leaning into our imagination. So how do we leverage our creativity to provide these innovative solutions? It requires us to lean into, to become intimate with our imagination. But Lasha Tate, that's another word. Another word we could talk about in abstract, but let's define it here in practice. So what's imagination? I know y'all can't read it, I'm gonna read it to you now. Imagination is the production and or simulation, of novel objects, sensations, and ideas. And really the back part of this definition is more important than the front. In the mind, watch this, y'all, without, everybody say without. Any, Lord, I can't read my own handwriting. Oh, that's why I type it out, though. That's why I type it out. Without any immediate, that can't be immediate. That's tough. That's exactly what I did. Without any immediate input of the senses. I'm going to say that again. The definition of imagination: production or simulation of novel objects, sensations, and ideas in the mind. Here's the important part: without any immediate input of the senses. So when I think about immediate input of the senses, I think about something I just saw, something I just heard, something I just smelled, something I just touched, what's the other sense? Something I just tasted. So without having just experienced something, my imagination is producing or simulating these novel ideas, objects, sensations, these original ideas without any immediate input from the senses. So that means my imagination does not come from something I'm seeing right now. It's probably coming from something I've seen before. Something that took time. Something you saw a year ago, a month ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. Sometimes your imagination is inspired by positive things and sometimes by negative. But again, that imagination piece is without immediate input of the senses. And so I start thinking, how do we put ourselves in positions to consistently lean into our imagination if it's required to be creative in order to produce innovative solutions? And I think the way in which we incubate incubation, the way in which we lean into inspiration, into imagination, is with inspiration. If you want to get to a point of producing creative solutions, or at least applying your creativity to solutions so they can become innovative, you got to be inspired. Because the backbone of creativity is imagination. And to get this, you got to have that.